Bristol's Cabot Circus had a shelter made by the government for the government, underneath the shopping centre. When it was known that HM Survival Corp built it for the officials and royals and anyone who was allowed in, it was overrun by dozens of people very quickly. They piled in like salmon in a can, but they all survived the blast. After resurfacing, the most charismatic took leadership and rebuilt Cabot Circus into Cabot Kingdom. The favourite was elected leader, and in turn, royalty, and the new tradition saw themselves be renamed to Cabot. Every leader after them took the mantle of king or queen and was always renamed to Cabot. That way everyone would know who was in charge. Those on the throne liked the royalty, but they did not like the name. However, they went with it. This was home to the Britannia remnants, arch enemy to Lucius and his demonic army. A few hours' walk away was a place formerly named King's Chase. The name stuck, as it was the disgusting home for the outcasts of Cabot Kingdom. Didn't like how things were in Cabot Kingdom? Then you stay here. For good. As in you are escorted here, in chains, blindfolded, escorted by 4 armoured remnant soldiers. The Cabot Kingdom guards keep names and faces in documents. King's Chase doesn't see much trade. And any people who are stuck there try to take caravans due to the isolation and the lack of resources there. It isn't safe either, as ill and mutated people live among them. The Britannia remnants are made up of soldiers, politicians, and royals after the bombs. The soldiers who served to protect everyone were limited by the government, who stayed in pursuit of resources for their own selfish deeds. These people wanted everything that was left, as if it had their names on it. Not everyone was like this, nor did anybody ever agree to it. Those sorts of people and the outcasts make up the other half of the remnants, who abandoned the all-for-us way of thinking before the bombs. They turned away from their selfish nature, and helped others for nothing to make up for their past. They did simple work, protect caravans, guard settlements. Some wanted to do nothing, and others did anything they could to make amends to the people they failed to protect. The remnants like to keep anything and everything that still works, including suits of Mark IV power armor. This was mass-produced and was designed for police and SWAT. It was painted black, with police tagged on the front and back of the torso. There was an upgraded variant, the Mark VII, that was also mass-produced, but it was for the military, coated in green with mild camouflage patterns all over the suit. On the left side of the breastplate was the Britannia Army logo, and on the right side was the rank of the wearer. The Mark IV was in response to America's T-45 suit, the Mark VII was in response to America's T-51 suit. The Britannia remnants tend to keep away from others unless they saw something they liked. From working firearms to rubber duckies, to toasters to televisions, to pieces of metal plating. They felt entitled, and they didn't care. They send out multiple patrols every day to any nearby settlement, but never sent teams to stay at the settlements. Even if they wanted to, they would always get kicked out. Whilst the protection was good, the nature of their kind was unwelcome. It never ends well for both settlements either way, and the soldiers in particular, but that's the standard arrangement nowadays. One day a recon team of 8 men returned to Cabot Kingdom and had news for Queen Cabot III. She sat on an oversized throne, in a back area, nice and safe, away from all the other people. The patrol leader gave the following report. 12 ghouls were slain, rations were purchased from a settlement called Multiberry, a settlement with great farmland and produced a lot of food. A nearby pharmacy was looted of any remaining medicines, and they saw men wearing the demonic army uniform, but they did not engage. Whilst the remnants saw the demonic army did not see them. This was smart. This brought up concerns amongst the council, as Hell's demonic army was the only faction that could match Cabot Kingdom and the remnants. Field Marshal Bradford consulted Queen Cabot III after the situation, but he was ordered to not get involved. Bradford was a wise man. She trusted Queen Cabot III, but didn't always obey her. He knew that if the remnants didn't act soon, they would be on the losing end of a devastating battle. They do have a secret weapon, but the remnants have nukes.